show of hands. 2 years ago? 3 years? When's the last time? Let me hear from this. When is the last time you sent a letter by post? Okay, think about that. I'll be back up on stage for it. Patrick, over to you.
Thank you. The Cabinet Secretary, Permanent Secretary, the Minister of ICT, the Chairman, the CEO of Postal Corporation, CEO Task Technology, Safaricom, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'll go straight to today's event where we're launching our post office Mkononi. M-Post Mkononi is a digital platform that has been developed in the post office to help Kenyans to be able to access postal service. M-Pesa and M-Pesa subscribers, all M-Pesa subscribers can now be able to get into the post office through this platform that you can be able to access on all your phones. Our post office has been known for many years, for over 100 years. Currently, I think majority of you are aware of the stamp, the 50-cent stamp. This is where we were, sending mails using physical boxes. Our post office currently has only 450,000 physical boxes across the country in a population of 47 million, and we still use, we have been using the postage boxes across the country. But for now, we're going to bring you the future of the post office. Through M-Post, all M-Pesa subscribers can be able to access the post office on your phones, and you'll be able to dial *234 *9#. You'll be able to access that unique code, and you can be able to get the post office. If you could just try that on your phone right now, and you register, and you'll be able to become M-Post subscriber today, and you can be able to access the post office right on your phones. Now, the population of the country is about 47 million Kenyans, and we have about 40 million mobile subscribers, that is across the country in all the networks. The M-Post product is going to connect you, is going to enable all Kenyans to be able to connect to the post office. Currently, with the 450,000 physical boxes that we've talked about, is limiting the younger generation. Through M-Post, the entire population is going to access the post office with a lot of ease. And because the address on your phone, the physical address on your phone, we can be able to have or to use this as a national addressing system, because definitely it will be able to pick up your location and it can be able to know exactly where you are. Through the M-Post, we'll be able to access the e-commerce, which is the current system of growth in the country. Everybody is buying things online. Thank you so much, and welcome to M-Post.
Thank you very much, Patrick. And now to hear from the Postmaster General himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Dan Kagwe to come up and say what exactly this means for Postal Kenya as well.
Our chief guest today, our Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Information and Communication and Technology, Mr. Joe Mushero. I must add here EGH, MBS. Our Principal Secretary of Information and Communication and Technology, Mr. Jerome Ochieng. The Chief Financial Services Officer, Safaricom, PLC, Mr. Sitoyo. Chief Enterprise Business Officer, Safaricom, Madam Rita Okuthe. I don't know whether she's here. Oh yeah, she's here, yeah. Our Director General, I think is represented here, Madam Masiwanjao. Lovely. Chief Executive Officer, Task Technologies, Abdulaziz. and his co-founder, Tahir Mohammed, senior officials from Safaricom Limited and Postal Corporation of Kenya, all representatives from key stakeholders and invited guests present, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning again. Before I read my half-an-hour speech, I would like first to ask my chairman to come and say a word and introduce the board. Please, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Good morning again. Yangu itakuwa ni mafupi sana. Minister wetu, Sheru, our PS, Jerome, the chiefs, naambiwa wote kila mtu kwa Safaricom anaitwa chief. Chief wawili wako hapa ama ni watatu. Na kutoka CA, mimi ningependa kusema ya kwamba niko na furaha kubwa nikiwa hapa kama chairman ya Postal Corporation ya Kenya. I almost said chama cha KANU. But I am honored to be here. With me, we have our director. The rest did not make it this morning. Esther Sagini, she's here. Simama usalamiane. Mimi niko na furaha kubwa kwa niaba ya board ya Postal Corporation. Niko na furaha mkijua Postal Corporation is a corporation that is over 400 years old. Kutoka ukoloni, before ukoloni. And now we are quoting with a 17-year-old, which is Safaricom. And we have every reason to quote with this 17-year-old. I was asking one of the chief officers who are Safaricom, the age gap management wa Safaricom, hawajafika hata 30 years. They are very young. So I'm happy to know that the direction that Postal is heading is, if we do not look backwards, we're going to be obsolete. And that's why today we want to turn the traditional postal into a digital platform, so that this young generation, and very much everybody is in the know, that the population in Nji today, 70% of the population ni watu wadogo. So if we wait for them to go and open ile posta ya lease ya Milka, hakuna kitu tutafanya hapo. These are people who want to transact where they are. And they want to be informed about everything that happens where they are. So this today marks a turning point for Postal Corporation, in that we are also not going to be left behind. We are going to be with you. And that's why this 17-year-old called Safaricom, atutawawacha, we want to do more. So I thank you. M-Post, a young man also, we are very grateful to have this association. Sikuja hapa kusema mengi, lakini Waziri, you are young also. Na nimeona hata simu zako hapo, I'm seeing a new phone, yenye umefungua namna hii, na mimi naona hata mimi nataka hiyo. Mimi sitaki kuachwa nyuma kabisa, kwa sababu nataka kuwa ndani ya Safaricom, na Safaricom iwe ndani ya Posta, si ndio? So kwa haya mengi na machache, na watakia weekend njema. Nasikia ni Black Friday ama ni Black nini, si ndio? Na Black Friday inatumika kwa simu pia. Kuoda nasikia kila kitu iko nusu, kila mahali unaenda nusu. Tumia hii Black Friday kutumia Safaricom ndani ya posta. Si imeingiana? Kwa haya machache na mengi bwana MD, chukua.
Asante sana, makofi sana tafadhali kwa Honorable Nick Salat. Asante Mheshimiwa. Allow me to, with permission from Mr. Dan Kagwe, to take up the stage just really quickly and invite Mr. Tom Olwero. He mentioned him on his speech, actually. He's the Director of Frequency Spectrum Management, the State Department of ICT. He'll be speaking representing the Communications Authority. So please, karibu sana, Bwana Olwero, for your remarks.
Good morning. Yes, I have a few remarks here on behalf of my Director General, Madam Mercy Wanjau, who is unable to join us here due to other very critical duties, but she has sent her regards. So, the Honorable Minister, Joe Mucheru, Mr. Jero Mochieng, my PS, Honorable Nick Salat, the Chair of Board of PCK, Mr. Dan Kagwe, the PMG, Mr. Lepokoyet, one of the chiefs, as the Honorable mentioned, and also Chief Steve Chege, and other chiefs from Safaricom, and the postal and courier industry players, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have a brief speech here which I will go through, and it says as follows. The authority is indeed delighted to witness this important milestone for the PCK as it enters into partnership with Safaricom to enhance the M-Post service. This is a step that will certainly enrich not only the postal subsector, but also the ICT sector in general, given the integration. This landmark event is a pointer to the continued innovations that are primed to position this sector to be responsive to the shifting consumer demands. It is also a clear manifestation on how technology can be leveraged to boost the activities of the postal services in Kenya. Most importantly, it demonstrates how synergies between different players in the ICT sector can contribute to the greater good of the sector. We all agree that the traditional mail is fast declining in the face of emerging aggressive technologies that have enabled instant communication and in effect eclipsing the demand for written letters transmitted via the post. As the regulator, it is our objective to grow all aspects of the sector, and as such, postal networks have always remained an integral part of the discussions and strategies for actualization of digital inclusion in Kenya. According to the Universal Postal Union, 73% of posts indicate they have increased their investment in digital postal services. This is certainly an area that will continue to grow. This move by PCK therefore sets the stage for a revitalization of the postal services across the country and positioning them as hubs for e-commerce. Today's consumer, who is exposed to a myriad of new technologies, is different from the consumer 10 years ago, and now expects to interact directly with the post through digital channels. I'm pleased to note that the customers will now enjoy the convenience of using their mobile numbers as their addresses. Customers will also be able to choose how they wish their letters or parcels are delivered. Such an innovative approach will no doubt add value to the customer experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Sextat statistics by the authority show that as at June 2019, the number of letters sent locally declined by 24% to stand at 9.9 million, while the number of courier items exchanged during the same quarter went up almost by a similar margin of 23.7%. In the same period, incoming international letters increased by 7% to stand at 2.7 million, while outgoing international letters stood at 1.3 million, representing a 0.2% decrease from the previous quarter. This trend naturally calls for a paradigm shift on how we can revitalize the vast postal network to enable it to contribute effectively to the country's socio-economic development. We therefore laud Posta Kenya for this revolutionary product, M-Post, and the partnership with Safaricom that will enable users access their service of their M-Pesa menu and also track their postal items through this value chain. The commercial world that is now driven by technology is fast changing. It is my hope that this dynamism in the postal world will be maintained in order to ensure that the post not only contributes to the growth of the digital economy, but also harnesses from it. If the post in Kenya is to remain relevant, it must continuously be adaptive and also continuously challenge itself to compete with the digital native companies in different areas of its product portfolio. This new approach is bound to open new frontiers within the industry and trigger other innovations that will fundamentally transform the postal landscape in this country. We encourage PCK to continue the digitalization of its products and expand its piece of pie in the digital space. The authority remains at hand to continue fostering an enabling regulatory environment that can encourage such development in the sector. I wish to conclude by thanking PCK and Safaricom on this groundbreaking partnership and also wish them well. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, simple, transparent, honest for you. How many saw that ad by Safaricom? Okay, how many saw it? Thank you, Steve. You're the first one to raise your hand. You. Simple, transparent, honest, only for you. I think one thing that we have to attribute to Safaricom is on the brand likability that has been over the past few days, and actually the energy and strive they've had to actually be closer to the customers and really understand what exactly are the pain points and how to address them. Today we witnessed another strategic partnership, but this brand that Kenyans have dearly loved. I must say that being in business school, it's hardly a day that passes by before we can actually forget to analyze Safaricom. So Rita, I know that's actually very good, and all the chiefs that have been mentioned, Steve, Lopo, these are great strategic leaders. I'm sure this is some conversation that keeps on going. How do we continuously improve and increase the climate in this region? So ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to please appreciate the team walking behind the chiefs, to give a round of applause to the innovative minds and the innovative spirit that exists down on Wayaki Way. So please give a round of applause to the entire Safaricom team for the continuous improvement. So, and in a bid not to miss out on the protocol to recognize the chiefs, Sitoyo Lopokoit, who's the Chief Financial Services Officer, we call him the M-Pesa man, he's going to come up and recognize Rich and Steve as well as he gives his remarks. And of course, we'll carry on from this on the program. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome on stage Mr. Sitoyo Lopokoit, who's the Chief Financial Services Officer at Safaricom, to give his remarks and recognize his colleagues as well.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not as eloquent as Honorable Nick Salat, but my remarks will be very brief. First, I'd like to thank Joe Musheru, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Information, for being here. Jerome Ocheng, PS, the same ministry. Masi Wanjao, who has sent apologies. Chairman, Postal Corporation, Honorable Nick Salat, Postmaster General, Dan Kagwe, the chiefs of Safaricom, ladies and gentlemen, the bloggers, the media, good morning again. I think for me, there are three things, and some wise friend of mine told me this morning, focus on three things. So one is, first is to thank the government. I think this is one of the most progressive governments we have in terms of enabling an innovative play within the country. We've seen products such as e-citizen. Today, last month I was applying for my passport. It's the easiest process to do. Huduma centers, very innovative. M-Akiba, very innovative. The CA, very innovative products and services, and then providing the enabling environment. I think in July we saw Central Bank hold a fintech conference, the Afro-Asia. A central bank holding a fintech conference to enable the young entrepreneurs have a space to actually showcase their innovation. And 2 weeks ago, I was the central bank governor in Singapore for the Singapore FinTech Festival, in which we took 3 of our fintechs that were in the top 10 during the Afro-Asia FinTech Festival for the hackathon. And Pula, which is one of our local fintechs here, actually won the Singapore FinTech Festival hackathon. It just shows the skills and the environment that we actually have to enable fintechs come on. I think M-Post is one of these innovative products and services. And as you say, Safaricom, it's for you. This is the first time you have a postal address that is for you individually. Until 5 minutes ago, my postal address was my father's postal address at GPO. I've registered on the service. It took less than 60 seconds. It used our M-Pesa SDK push using the APIs to actually pay the 300 shillings only for the full year. And now my mobile number is actually my postal address. I think for postal services, the digitization is something that's growing worldwide. Today, Amazon as the US Post. The US Post is now very profitable because of the number of products and services that are delivered to its postal address. We saw 11/11, which is a Alibaba sort of Black Friday this month, and over $39 billion was worth of products and services was sold in less than 24 hours, which was a world record. And all this was actually delivered through the postal services. And we had our 11/11, and over 6,500 Kenyans went online, paid by M-Pesa and AliExpress, and all those products, 100% of them coming to the Postal Corporation. But there is a part of us, of the Kenyan population that has been excluded. And this has been access to the postal service. To do e-commerce or to buy something online, you need a postal address. And what is being launched today is enabling all 27 million adults in Kenya have access to postal address to be able to improve their lives, be able to receive their letters on time. University students apply for a job, let's say Safaricom. They normally get the address of parents, their relatives, keep checking when the letters have come. But now on their mobile phone, they're able to actually receive notifications when the letters are there, and they're able to actually progress with their lives. So I'd just like to first throw a couple to one of our chiefs, Steve Chege, to say something, and then he can invite Madame Rita quickly.
Check.
So I'm equally throwing a couple to Rita. Let's go. Thank you. Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, PS Jerome, Chairman Nick Salat, distinguished guests and fellow innovators. I think all of us are innovators in one way or another. I would just like to say we're humbled to be here and to do our part as a company to keep on driving our government and our country forward. As Victoria said, we retain a very focused and innovative streak in Safaricom, but what we try and do is provide the capability for other Kenyans to plug in and raise the standards of this country. So for us, thank you for the opportunity, PS and CS. We're going to be here for the next one. And I like the way Chairman said, we want Safaricom to be inside you. So for us, that's what we are aiming for.
So I think the gentleman intentionally left me for last because perhaps they think I look like a 17-year-old chief. But to our CS, PS, the chairman of PSK, Honorable Nick, the Postmaster General, Dan Kagwe, the representative from the CA, the other directors from the PSK, fellow chiefs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know when the last time was that you received a letter and opened it. But without betraying my age, there was a time when letters were very important part of life. And you sent letters laced with many things, and then we waited for about 2 to 3 weeks for a response. But you know, these days you send an email. When was the last time you sent an email? Probably this morning. The reply was instant. And with the advent of digitization, perhaps many of us thought that a corporation like Post Kenya become redundant. I think the lesson that we take away from here today is that digitization actually provides opportunity for innovation and for change, and for organizations to adapt to the future and to adapt to new technologies as they emerge. So I really want to also congratulate the team from PSK because what you have done is really innovative, it's very different, out of the box thinking. It would have been easy to just sit there and say, well, let's wait and see what happens with our postal boxes. The second thing that we have done today is improved access for our people. One of the things that we do a lot in Kenya as Kenyans is we complain quite a bit. But the question we need to ask ourselves is what can we do where we are to make a difference? And I think when corporations come together like this to make a difference in the lives of Kenyans, this is the way we begin to move Kenya forward. The government has its role to play, and again I must reiterate that we are very grateful for your leadership, Bwana CS and Bwana PS, and the CA, for enabling us as an industry to try things, new things, different things. We come with all kinds of ideas. Some you say no, some you say yes, but some you say yes, go ahead. But it is in that spirit that we have managed to be very, very innovative. So I'm grateful for the cooperation. And this is collective innovation. I think sometimes, yes, Safaricom is an innovative company, but it's also because of the environment that we thrive in, that we do operate business in, that makes us innovative. So our innovation is the shared pride of the nation of Kenya. So I thank you all for coming today and enjoy the rest of the program. And if you haven't registered, please do so before you leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more round of applause, please, to Safaricom, the chiefs and the people behind the chiefs as well. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on thick and fast, allow me now, and thank you, Bwana Kagwe, for being very accommodative in this. It's the guys now behind Poster Kenya and the people who are there. I saw some of them in rice t-shirts. All the guys with the M-Post t-shirts, where are you at? Can you please stand? We need to see you donning all the t-shirts, please. The team from Poster with all the great t-shirts, let's give them a round of applause. They signify what you'll be seeing there, the brand M-Post, so thank you. Those are your people, Mr. Kagwe, so tafadhali, karibu sana. Over to you for your remarks.
Asante sana. I think we're moving well. Wajua Swahili usema mgagana upwa hali wali mkavu. So you are as great, as important, as weak, as friends, as the friends you hang around with. But today is a great day. It's not just a great day for the post office, it's a great day for this nation. 3 years ago, about 3.5 years ago, 2 young men walked into my office and they said they were going to change this nation. And they actually, not just the nation, they said they are going to change the world. And when I asked them what they had, they said it was, we want to make the post office, to bring the box into the mkononi. You know, we want to change the physical box into your mobile number. And I was skeptic. These days, if you see them, they're wearing suits. That time, they were looking like conmen. But because of the way I'm brought up as a believer, I believed them. And having launched the product, which the CS will talk about it because he was part of it, we actually went to visit Safaricom. And that was 3.5 years ago. And we talked and talked, and basically nothing came of it. But that's why I started. Uli wali mkavu ukiwa pale. But here we are, 3.5 years later. And what are we saying? One of the greatest things that we have done is to incubate an innovation. I think it is a role of all governments, departments who have the opportunity to do this, to actually encourage our youth to excel in what they are doing. In fact, if I can say the truth, when this whole product started, it was actually called virtual post. But a day before presentation, when we went to present to the CS, he said, why don't you call it M-Post? So let's have it clear. He actually named it M-Post. Please give him a hand. At that point, we didn't see the vision that one day, both M's will merge and have the M-Post and M-Pesa. It becomes seamless. To me, this is a product that brings inclusivity into everybody, which is our mandate, to make sure that everybody is served. So now we have affordability. At 300 shillings, it's an affordable item for every Kenyan. It would have taken us an investment, if you can calculate. We have 450,000 boxes today. We have achieved 450,000 boxes in 100 years. In 100 years, we have 450,000 boxes. To make everybody get a box, and we have a population of 45 million people, if you multiply that with 1,000 shillings alone, we need something like 45 billion shillings for this investment. And now, it's affordable. We can roll it overnight. It makes logistics for e-commerce seamless, and to serve the Kenyans much faster and to their comfort. I think it's one of the best days for this country. I'm very proud to be part of it. I thank the PCK team for driving it. I thank Safaricom, particularly Bwana Sitoyo, We've had conversations and conversations. I'm the chairman. Our chairman has been part of this conversation because we believed there got to be a point where things must change. There got to be a point where the service levels and what people expect must be real. And now we have real-time and personal addressing system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to up our game on our service levels. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Kagwe, appreciate it. And also to appreciate the board, Madam Sagini as well, and to appreciate as well, Mheshimiwa Nick Salat. Let's give them a round of applause to Posta Kenya. So with that great partnership and the opportunity for e-commerce, how many of you have ordered from Masoko or from Black Friday? Let me see by show of hands. Deals going down today? Yes, we are getting there. And how have you asked them to deliver to you? Through your mobile box, right? Have you all registered? So maybe just trying to tell you what we're gearing up to, which is the launch, and telling you that the opportunity that this has created for e-commerce, and just to tell you that indeed we're getting there as Kenya to have an Amazon of ourselves right here in East Africa. So I want to now move forward to the side of the government, and they have been greatly thanked. A minute. They've been greatly thanked for creating the environment for the innovative minds at Safaricom, of course, and then the industry at large. So I think this excites you, Jerome and Joe, the JJs, to see now the opportunity this has created, especially in the country, towards meeting the goals that you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, to invite our Cabinet Secretary, who's going to give us a keynote address, allow me to invite his Principal Secretary, Mr. Jerome Ochieng, to come up and also give his remarks and invite the Principal Secretary, Minister of ICT. Thank you.
Asante sana, Bwana MC. To our chief guest, our Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Honorable Joe Musheru, the Chairman, Postal Corporation, who is inside, Postal Corporation of Kenya, Honorable Nick Salat, to our PMG, our colleagues from Safaricom, all the board members, all protocols observed, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's called a breakfast meeting, so I'm imagining at least breakfast was served. Good. First of all, let me take this opportunity to really congratulate the Postal Corporation of Kenya, together with Safaricom, in this very great joint initiative. That as Kenya, we are fully aware of our role in the realm of innovation. And again, taking advantage of technology in order to ensure that we have efficient service delivery. And as government, we are more than willing to support and actually encourage such initiatives. On Wednesday, the 27th, a report was launched called the Building Bridges Initiative Report. His Excellency the President requested us to read the report. And as a loyal servant, I took the initiative to start reading the report. What I did, I said, what does this report really talk about us in the technology space? And I'd want to share with you 2 or 3 things that Kenyans are saying. One of the things that is clearly in the report, and this is not to discourage you from reading the report, Musiseme PS alisoma, you now go and read and find these things that I'm talking about, is on digitization. That Kenyans want the government to embrace 100% as an e-service nation by digitizing all government services, processes, payment systems, and record keeping to ensure they are secured from criminal tampering. Again, a challenge to us as a ministry that citizens want digitization. They're also talking about complete the digitization of the land ownership and give public access to the database. They are also saying that they want direct, tough anti-corruption and digitization efforts at the land buying and selling sector to offer relief and predictability to the majority of Kenyans who make a living off land. They're also saying that they want the digitization of all county revenue collection system to curb proliferations of revenue collection. Why am I saying this? Is that the citizens are really looking forward to us doing what Postal Corporation in collaboration with the Safaricom have already done today, and they are really expecting more, because digitization is going to take us far as a country. As you talk about issues of creating job opportunities, as you talk about creating efficiencies in service delivery, as you talk about fighting corruption and misuse of public resources, then technology is at the heart of providing these services. With those few remarks, and with an encouragement that we all go and read this report, it is really my humble duty to invite our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Joe Musheru, to make his speech. Asanteni sana.
Good morning, everybody. So who is in government and who is in private sector? Steve, pengine usimame so that people can see. The president gave us a directive. We must all be wearing Kenyan on Fridays. And as you can see, Ata yako ni Kenyan? No. So thank you, PS and Chairman Nick Salat. I think this is our first meeting together, and so I'm very pleased that it's on such an occasion. To the Safaricom chiefs, to the Postmaster General. But I think before I say anything, I think you should come ahead, Aziz, kuja hapa. These are the guys who have invented this M-Post. And even when you hear that I was involved in the naming, I told them, this, when you say it's virtual post, people will not necessarily believe that it's a real post. And in time, as we continue, everybody will just be using their phone, even for their postal services. So why don't you just say it's mobile post, you can go with it. I didn't know that they were going to change the name from virtual post, but they did. But lakini salimia watu, just at least say something, because you've not been given a chance yet. This is your innovation with your team. Sema kitu, at least.
Bwana CS, I'm honored, humbled. Chair, PCK, all the chiefs at Safaricom, Bwana PMG, all protocols observed. I think my team and I will not want to say a lot, but kusema asante kwa serikali hii ya Jubilee, because the reality of the matter is, if the government did not give us this opportunity, us as the youth would not be here today. What we have done, and of course the PMG put it rightly, we told him we will, and I repeat, we will change the world. Thank you.
So let me just say congratulations to them. They've come up with an innovation, they have patented it, and many people around the world are asking them for this. But they've agreed that this is a Kenyan innovation and they want to build it as Kenyan. I also want to thank PCK, the Postal Corporation, and Safaricom for working together. And I think this is really an example of building bridges. As you've heard, it's taken 3.5 years for them to come together and actually get this working. But it's a great thing, because at the end of it, this bridge that has been built, it's the Kenyan that is going to benefit, that is benefiting from this new service. The service itself fits very squarely in the agenda that we have for digitization of Kenya and of the continent. As you know, our president launched the blueprint, the digital economy blueprint in Kigali, of which we have the digital services as one of the key anchors. You look at economies, US, China, we're talking over 35% of the economy or the GDP of China being e-commerce led. So it's our intention that we can see the growth and development of our economy also through the digital services that we offer, led by our youth, led by our innovators. We have great innovations that work for us. We have also enacted laws that have been key in ensuring that the digital economy grows. So we now have a law on data protection. We have a law on access to information. We have a law on cyber security. So even as we digitize and as we move to the next stage, it is critical that we have all the right laws, and therefore we create an environment that will allow each and everyone to innovate and to enjoy the digital services that we have. Thank you, Safaricom, for acknowledging that our regulatory environment is allowing the innovations that are currently happening. When we look at where we want to go, we have ensured as government that not only are we making it easy for businesses to set up, and by the way, on the ease of doing business, there are various categories. On the category of protecting investment, Kenya is #1 in the world, protecting investment. And we intend to do the same in ensuring that even as different companies come and invest in Kenya, we will protect them, as well as Kenyan companies, that so long as you have invested, we are not going to change laws, and we're going to give you a very predictable environment that you will be operating in. We know that one of the key drivers of this product, M-Post, is really for e-commerce services. Amazon came already and they are setting up here. Already Alibaba are here and they've partnered with Safaricom. And one of the key questions and challenges was, but how do we reach Kenyans? We do have a national addressing system that we've been working on, and I think the chair, Jane Munga, is here. And it's composed of different stakeholders in the sector and in the industry. And the regulator, CA, is going to continue to regulate how all the different players operate as far as the national addressing services are concerned. But Postal Corporation is the one in charge of the actual addressing. So now each of you will have on your phone your mobile number with a postcode as your address. The innovation is that you can then move with it. If today you end up in, say, Kirinyaga, or you end up in Makueni, you just change on the phone and say this is where you've moved to. So your parcels can immediately follow you to each of those places. The beauty of digitization is that it allows us to create even more jobs. So in conjunction with the Postal Corporation, as a ministry, we are also going to use some of the interns that we hired. We'll have over 300 interns to ensure that we now take this service to mashinani fully. So at every post office, we're going to have people that will help you understand how can you use this technology. In Ahero, we were learning this morning, they have got over 30 million bags of rice. Yet there are places in northeastern, places even in eastern, where people actually don't have food. Now they're saying nobody's buying their rice. They want the government to buy this rice so that then we put it in the strategic grain reserve. But if they had a portal, a website, which they can actually just post their rice there and somebody can buy from wherever. Right now you can buy the cheapest rice from Ahero. Right now, the people buying most of that is actually our neighbors from Uganda. These e-commerce platforms, these e-commerce services that we're setting up will actually allow for each of you now to be able to interact and begin to remove issues of middlemen. The coffee farmers, the tea farmers are all saying they want to have access even to international markets. But you know, with the financial services today, without an address, you're not part of the world. You will not be able to buy or sell things overseas if you don't have a specific address. So today is a great day for Kenya, that each citizen with your mobile number on Safaricom, you can now be able to have your address and share it with the world and be able to join the global e-commerce market. That means you will be able to now transact directly. If you have your own coffee, if you have milk, if you have rice, if you have even bananas, and even avocados, you can be able to now sell directly to anybody around the world. An avocado today in the US, one is about $9. That's about 900 shillings, actually more than 900 shillings, one avocado. You know that China is also asking us for avocados. It means we're now empowering citizens where you can now sell directly. You don't have to go through all these different groups. And I'm not saying the groups are bad. The groups will help you with many standards, economies of scale and so on. But the opportunities are now there. And that's what digital provides. So for us, we're very pleased as government to actually see that now the industry is actually innovating. Big players, old players, small players, all of them are coming together and hatching some great, great innovations that are here. So my role wasn't to come and give a long and big speech. Mine was to launch, I think, the product. My speech was saying I should launch the partnership. Here, I think that is a marriage. Marriage is different. So mine is really to launch the product, and I think there's going to be demonstrations. And I encourage each of you and all Kenyans to actually go digital. You've already been experiencing this with your devices. Now let's see that we can begin to have commerce and create the many jobs that are needed. Let me end by saying that this provides now the opportunity for many of the digital jobs that we've continued to talk about. There's one young man who has been using the platforms that exist. He manufactures things in China and sells them online in the US using the Amazon services and makes millions of shillings per month from here in Kenya. And is now training people on how to be able to create their own online businesses. You can do this on Amazon, you can do this on Alibaba, and I'm hoping we'll continue to build our platforms like Jumia and others that are also local, where you can be able to put your products and actually expand and grow. So I'm expecting the many e-commerce services that we have locally, that they're going to begin to use this addressing system. We will continue to digitize government services as we have. The digitization of lands, digitization of judiciary. You saw already the occurrence book, or the OB of the police service, is also being digitized. So there are many, many activities that we'll continue to work on. But for now, as the PS said, to some a BBI and see how we can inject even all this technology to ensure that we have a better Kenya. So asanteni sana, and let me officially then launch M-Post today. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. A round of applause, please, to our Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Joe Musheru. One more time. Let's give him a round of applause, please, as he takes his seat. Shortly, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We'll call you back up on stage now for the official launch, as we put it, with the pomp and color now. Ladies and gentlemen, do you all manage to register? I think Aziz, I'm going to call you up on stage because you're my colleague in the whole, say, youth fraternity. So please come up. You can help us in this. In case there are anything, just please come. *234 *1#. Let's do that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's please get our phones out. I don't want you all to miss out on this. So please get off your phones out. And the USSD code is *234 *1#. *234 *1*9#. Did you get there? It will prompt you for your ID. Select one, of course, to register. Select one to register. after which input your ID number, and after you input your ID number, you'll also be prompted to put in your code as well. *234*1*9#. Select 1 to register, then input your ID number, and after which you can put in your preferred postal code. So as is, maybe just a brief notes, the postal code can be, where you prefer, and you can actually log in. It prompts you, it asks you for you to go to the M-Post website, and you can get the preferred code. Can I still use a code that maybe, say for instance, it's 00100, that's GPO, or 00200 KNH, or 202 KNH, something? Does it matter what code I select?
No, precisely as you put it. It is basically a code of your choice. It can be either of the 623 postal codes offered by the Postal Corporation of Kenya within the Republic.
Okay, great. Are we there? Any questions? Can field any questions? If you're stuck anywhere, please. We have our teams right there. The guys in the t-shirts, please help me out. We can distribute ourselves. Let me have some of you on this side and some in the middle, and then we can help out our guests register and have it all. So, brief notes, last but not least, what do you see this? How do you see it changing the landscape on e-commerce in the country?
Well, briefly, I don't think I have a lot to add, just to basically kind of farm up what the CS has said. It gives an opportunity, especially to our generation, instead of sharing our fathers and mothers and other people's addresses, we basically now have an opportunity to use our own individual addresses. Of course, we're a generation of digital. We order a lot of stuff from Masoko. Now they don't have to get lost because we basically have our M-Post addresses.
Great. Thank you very much, Aziz. Let's give a round of applause. And thank you for the partnership as well and the entire team. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the tail end of this. Are you there? Are you there? Can I all hear say M-Post? Thanks. So some of you are slouching, some of you are seated. Being a TV guy, we are all live online, so please sit upright. You don't want people saying that, where did he go to? Some of you said you actually headed somewhere else. So here we are live, of course, thanks to Bantu Studios and, of course, my colleagues as well from the media. There's also a lady from Bloomberg who doesn't want me to mention her name, but we are all live online. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I need you all to please turn your attentions to the screen before you, because we have something right up for you.
Mbona usipate box namba yako papo hapo? Sasa phone namba yako ni box namba yako na M-Post. Tumia phone namba yako kutuma au kupokea barua na mizigo kwa urahisi. Pata alert kwa simu barua inapoingia. Ukiwa popote Kenya. Kwa uhakika, urahisi na usalama kutoka kwa ofisi za posta zaidi ya 600 zilizo kote nchini. Kuregister, piga *234*1*9# sasa au tembelea mpost.co.ke/mpost kwa shilingi 300 tu kwa mwaka mzima. M-Post, huduma kutoka Posta Kenya wakishirikiana na M-Pesa.
Simple, transparent, honest for you. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. The launch. So I'm going to kindly ask the representatives to come right up on stage. We've consulted our engineers. I'm not going to have the entire team from the VIP table to come up. But in this succession, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome up on stage our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Joe Musheru, to please come up, escorted by his PS, that's Mr. Jerome Mochieng, to please come up as well. From representing Posta Kenya, allow me to welcome our chairman, Honorable Nick Salat, to please come up on stage as well. Let me also welcome Mr. Dan Kagwe to come up as well. Representing Safaricom, we'll have Madam Rito Kuthe as well to come up on stage, and also Sitoyo Lopokoit to please come up on stage. In that session, please, yes, sir, please welcome up on stage. We'll be passing over to you a dummy phone, and this is just in the interest of space as well. And Aziz, please, you've been asked to come up as well on stage. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna give them a countdown, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready to give them a countdown? Ladies and gentlemen, in 3, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to the team right up on stage, marking the official launch of M-Post, a strategic partnership between Posta Kenya, the Government of Kenya, Ministry of ICT, and Safaricom. And move on to the cake cutting. All right, so if you could please pause. Bwana Kagwe, please look right up on the pictures. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, marking the successful launch of M-Post. Team to kindly have their seats as well to so we can get directions on to the next session. Without registering as well. We are getting to the tail end of this, ladies and gentlemen, trusting that you've all registered. And also, should you have any questions, please reach out to the team. They're all marked up with the M-Post t-shirts, and you can actually speak to them. At this point in time, just to wrap up the official beat of the program, please help me welcome Mr. Joseph Wanjoy, who's the head of department in charge of large enterprises at Safaricom, to give the vote of thanks, after which the members of the press, please be on standby. We'll have a repeat of the photo ops as well for you.
Thank you, Bwana MC. Mine is very brief, just to give a word of thanks, first of all, to all of us for gracing this event. Thank you, Bwana CS, CS Mushero, for gracing this occasion, PS Jerome, Chairman Honorable Nick Salat, Bwana Dan Kagwe, Postmaster General, the Chief from Safaricom. Thank you very much. The working team, and probably they could just stand wherever they are, the working teams from Safaricom, TAS Technologies, Scan Ad Agencies, if you're there, maybe so we can appreciate you. Just stand, the working teams from this organization, Tafadhalini, Posta. Please clap for these good people for putting this together and working very hard to ensure this day happens. And also Thank you to Serena Hotel for hosting us with a sumptuous breakfast. Asanteni sana and all the best. Have a good weekend ahead.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for the program. My name is Laban Cliff. I've been your great MC for today, and thank you for being a great audience. At this point in time, I'm going to ask the camera guys, the press corps, should they have any questions, to please just come to arrange themselves right in the middle. I'm going to ask, where's Diana? Diana from Business Daily. Oh, thank you. There you are. So please, if you could just come right up in front and please guide us on the pictures that we need to take. That will be on the front pages of the Business Daily. And of course, in other press corps as well. So let's see this. Honorable CS, if I could kindly ask you to come up on stage. And also let me have
Mbona usipate box namba yako papo hapo? Sasa phone namba yako ni box namba yako na M-Post. Tumia phone namba yako kutuma au kupokea barua na mizigo kwa urahisi. Pata alert kwa simu barua inapoingia. Ukiwa popote Kenya. Kwa uhakika, urahisi na usalama kutoka kwa ofisi za posta zaidi ya 600 zilizokote nchini. Kuregister, piga *234*1*9# sasa au tembelea mpost.co.ke/mpost kwa shilingi 300 tu kwa mwaka mzima. M-Post, huduma kutoka Posta Kenya wakishirikiana na M-Pesa.